All right, so I thought for today we'd kind of do a cool little video. This right here is Mike. Mike is actually the previous owner of this white Chaser right here, and now the current owner of this beautiful NSX. Before we get into the Chaser, can you tell us a little bit about the NSX? Because I've been like geeking out over your car.
I decided I really wanted an NSX. I didn't have a whole lot of money buying an NSX, so I was looking, you know, for cars on the cheaper side of what NSXs are going for. And I found this car in Texas. I flew out to Texas, I looked at this car, and I had a shipping company to come ship it back to me. A return flight already paid for, and I was gonna buy the car and I was gonna fly home and have it shipped the next day. And so I bought the car, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go get something to eat because I didn't have a car because I flew there and the guy picked me up. And then I was gonna go drop it off the hotel room, fly back and have it shipped back. And I just started driving and I literally just ended up back in Florida. So it's been a great car. I drove it home 1,400 miles. It had no issues, and you know, there it is.
So if you guys don't remember the Chaser when I got it, I think you, out of all the people that I kind of am friends with and follow on social media, have probably some of the best taste in cars. I know when you got this thing, it did not look like this. So it had this wide body that you said super rare on it, right?
Right.
When you got it, but you obviously did the wheels, you lowered it. Have you gotten to mess with anything else on it yet?
Not really. I've just been fixing all the things that were broken. Like when I got it, the windows barely went up and down, and it just had a bunch of like typical NSX problems. So I've been trying to get those all sorted out, and then next time I'll probably do like a rear balance on it and a few other little things, finish up getting all the paint fixed. But it's, you know, it's a slow process like they all are.
That's cool. So I'll make sure I put your Instagram link if anybody wants to follow the build. But before this too, you had like a really rad R32, and you always got cool cars. What else? You had a FD. What else have you had?
I had the R32. I had a two-door, those Midnight Purple. I had a sedan. I've had this. I had a JZX100. I had JZX100. I've had a couple FDs.
All right, now you're just bragging. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, look who's talking.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, I've had a few cars. So this is one of my most enjoyable to drive cars that I've had. It's not fast by any means, but it's just, you know, it's just a lot of fun to drive, and it looks cool.
Here's the good thing. So before we get into the car, and I want to have you critique everything that I've done to it, I want to hear what your thoughts were when you were talking to me and I wanted to buy the car. Did you think it was going to get ruined? What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know, like I've seen your other cars, and I'd seen that you'd taken care of your car. So you know how it is, like when you build a car, you feel so bad putting it in the wrong hands.
Yep.
And like somebody that's gonna like wreck it or pour it out or just treat it terribly. So I was like, well, at least I feel like it's gonna get taken care of, and I feel like the parts that are gonna get put on it aren't gonna be, you know, some cheap Chinese crap, which, you know, like I like real wheels, I like real, you know, some real parts, and you know, just keep it clean. I mean, you did pull up though, it's like covered in, you know, bugs on the...
All right, yeah, look who's talking.
You know, besides that, you know, it looks about the same.
So originally, if you guys remember, my plans were, and I don't remember when it changed, if it changed when I was talking to you or not, but when you first pulled up with a car at OSW, that was the first time I'd ever seen a car in person, and originally I wanted it to be a drift car. And I don't know when that plan changed, but you pulled up and I was like, God damn, this thing is way too clean to drift.
I think you started driving and you looked at me and you're like, you know, I brought X amount of money, but I brought a check and then I brought some cash because I was gonna lowball you. But like, it's exactly like you said it was.
Oh yeah. No, you're not wrong. It was so clean that I felt guilty giving him any less than he was asking, because it was a really like fair price on the car. Now, it was originally an NA Avante Chaser that you swapped, right?
So, because it was an Avante G, it was a 1J car, but it was NA 1J. So it was auto, obviously. So I pulled a swap out and I put a JZX100 VVTi 1J in it, and basically did everything fairly stock. It was on stock boost, it was on stock everything. I just, you know, threw a front mount on there and all the things you're gonna put on there when you do the swap. But I wanted a Tourer V, but they're not really in good shape when you find them.
Yeah.
So finding an NA car that was super clean was a lot better option, and you know, see how it turned out.
And the paint on it too, like I've never seen a Chaser with paint this clean. I don't know if you guys are able to tell in the videos, but it just has like the craziest pearl, and we still don't know whether it was maybe repainted in Japan or something, but it is a very, very clean example. All right, it's raining, so we might do this on the quicker side, but exterior-wise, the only real things that I've changed, I think, are like the roof wing, the exhaust, and what else? Maybe the Gana doors?
Mirrors, yeah. I mean, other than that, it's pretty much the same.
You're a stancy pants guy, so how's the stance?
I mean, it's not where I would have it. It's about like an inch too high, but you know, I guess for practicality, it's, you know, I mean, that's what I like, so.
I don't think we're that far off. So
it pains me to say it, but like I would be lower, but I start rubbing too bad.
That's where I'm at. I can drive this car and like you wouldn't even think it's low.
Yeah.
You did have really soft springs on it though, which makes me like, I have no idea how you're able to drive it like that. I went up 10K in the front from what you had it at.
See, like I like drive like an old man. I like it being comfortable.
It's still comfortable. You'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But you know, I mean, when you hit that bump and you just don't even feel it and you're on coils.
I will say I've never driven this car like on the highway long distance. I drove an hour and a half out here. Like the most comfortable car I have on the highway. It is so good. Like I have no idea why it drives so nice with all the tilty wheels and everything. We're gonna go find a parking garage to finish filming the video. Interior wise, it's still almost the same. It's still got your gauges that don't work. I called you out on that.
Hey, they did.
They did? I don't think they ever did. You didn't have a sensor, bro. The sensors were in the glove box.
I don't know, maybe not, maybe not. One or two worked.
We'll pop the hood real quick. We found some shade underneath this vent. Man, that is rude. So unfortunately, I don't have the coolest piece that I think I have for the engine bay in it right now because it's on the other Chaser because we used it as a like brace because I had to pull the strut towers out on another one. But engine wise, it's like kind of the same.
I mean, you know, slightly bigger turbo.
It's pretty small though, compared like.
I don't think that was open, but you know, I mean, other than
okay, guy. It's funny too because I give everybody crap about having like this open right next to the downpipe and fires and all that, but it's a fresh motor, man. What can I say? Whoever picked it out did a great job. There's no blow by.
Hey, I mean, I didn't really pick it out. I kind of couldn't find a JZX100 motor, and this was the only one I could find at the time. So. All
right, good to know. But yeah, it's not the prettiest. Man, I have the cool HKS carbon fiber strut brace, and it made it look so much nicer. Now it just looks like a stupid Chaser. But anyway, here is your former car. Now, I offered you a straight trade with NSX, but you wouldn't take it.
I mean, it was tempting a little bit, but you know.
So he got an insane deal on the NSX, and like, if I were to sell this car, I actually think I would probably sell it about what you paid for the NSX, which is like
100%.
And I don't know if it would sell at that price or not because it's kind of like a weird market, but
I don't know. The price has been going up. You can't really find JZX100s for like when you bought this from me. I feel like this car would sell for like $4 or $5 grand more than I sold it for in today's market versus, you know, what, a year and a half ago?
For sure. The auto like swap cars though seem to always be like a harder sell. That's one thing that I have noticed. But it was cool that you had a CD. And like initially,
I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
Well, no, initially I was like, oh, that's cool. It's already got a CD in it because R154s kind of suck, but the CD like wasn't really the best in this car either. So,
no.
But anyway, all right. So we're gonna go for. Do you want me to drive first, or do you want to drive first?
I'll ride first.
Okay. So it's wet out, and it's probably just gonna spin everywhere, but
yeah,
should be fun.
Yeah, you can drive first.
Okay. It goes straight though. I promise. We were just talking about how both of us didn't have the heart to pull out this radio because it's so cool with the factory nav. Which button is it? Is it this one? This is probably the message that tells us we're in the middle of the ocean right now because it doesn't know where we are. But it's just so cool, and you were able to get it to work so basically you can have an aux cable into it and you just go to the radio station with one of those little transmitters, and why not? I also love the cluster in this. That's one cool thing about it being, so that's an Avante thing, right?
Yeah, only the Avante G.
Got it. It's neat. You never see them in Chasers, and the fact that it all works too. So we're in Ybor, which is like kind of Tampa. For all we know, we're going to be going in a cop jungle with a very, like, it doesn't sound loud, but it's kind of loud.
Or the hood.
I'm like all about sound. That's always my thing. I think you probably care more about stance. I care more about sound.
I mean, sound is more important than being fast almost. Like if it sounds 100%. Fast, that pretty much does it enough for me.
I will, like, you know, let's just say some people might spend, you know, weeks trying to get the perfect stance and the perfect tilt on the wheels and the fitment and the credit card flush. I'll put like 5 different exhausts on until I'm happy. Because if there's any like weird rasp or weird resonance, it'll drive me nuts. I'll try flipping a U here. Man, it's just gonna spin and you're gonna be like, this car's slow.
I mean, it already sounds better.
Yeah. It didn't sound the best before. I had a dying turbo. I don't know if you guys remember it. Like,
oh, it did. It did. Like, it did. It had the good old CT sound turbo.
Yeah. So it's a very, very like responsive. Like I'd say it almost feels like a stock turbo, but it doesn't fall off. Or well, it does, but not as hard. So.
a little faster. It's a little faster.
Whoop. Those bumps are scary. It's just it just kind of slams you with torque and then falls off a little bit, but it's fun because in the rain like this, it kind of helps it gain traction and go. I love how it sounds though.
It pulls so hard.
It's a good time. Man, I'm so bummed it rained.
I mean, it feels faster in the rain.
Yeah. So this is fourth if we just roll into it fourth.
Yep.
The rain makes it feel faster, I'm not gonna lie.
500 horsepower in the dry, 1,000 in the wet.
Yeah. I'm super happy with it. Like I said, the shifter's kind of weird because it's like kind of extra far down and far back compared to where I'd like it. But
Yeah, it's super low.
having the 6-speed was so nice on the highway, just being able to cruise at like 3,500 RPM at 70. Dang. I'm so embarrassed.
First time I drove stick.
Yeah. Dude, the old clutch you had in this was like super easy to stall. I think, so when you drive this car, your mind's gonna be blown because the clutch that you had was like super touchy and it like grabbed at the top, right?
Right.
This clutch will hold something like 1,300 horsepower, but it grabs like a stock clutch in comparison to what you had.
So I'm probably gonna stall it.
No, I'm saying it's easier than what you had. I kept stalling it with the old clutch that you had.
Yeah.
Because it was like very hard to predict. The cool thing that I like about having the tiny turbo is like the response, so it's never any lag. It's such a happy car.
I'm so glad he didn't turn this into a drift car.
Yeah. Well, dude, and then I found the brown one too, and I got that thing for a steal. Did I ever tell you what I paid for that?
No.
I don't know if I ever said this in video, but you guys will know now. I paid like $5 grand for that car. With a good 1J, like VVTi, like it's totaled. Like it's legally totaled. But R154,
Yeah, it is.
factory manual.
For what you want to do with it though.
I got it to pull parts off to put in this car, and then I was like, wait a second, this car's salvageable. So I saved it, and then that turned into the drift one, and then I didn't want to take the parts out of it because like they weren't perfect, and this car only deserves the best. So it's been a weird journey.
See, you almost have tore the interior in here.
Yeah, you can see I like started. I still have the ugly dash. It kills me. I know.
Yeah.
Please don't mention it. Please don't bring it up. It's the reason why I'm still single. But I've got the cool door panels and the cool rear seats.
I was like, wait a minute, those aren't the same. That's blue.
Yeah. The old interior on it was cool though because it was just so fresh.
It was.
It was like brand new.
Super clean. And it had a really cool pattern too.
Yeah. Can I turn in here? Is that a turn in? I don't know. Promise it goes straight. You don't need. You don't need to do any like crazy fast stuff if you don't want to. I'm not putting pressure on you to drive fast. I just want you to feel like the response and kind of the drivability of it more than anything.
Okay, now I kind of want it back.
I mean, hey, I would like almost consider it. Like I really would.
I almost stalled it.
But feel it like it grabs soft and then it's hard.
So much. It's so
No,
much
it
touchier.
doesn't.
It's so much touchier.
No, it doesn't. Do you want me to GPS us, or do you want to just figure it out? We should figure it out.
We'll just, it makes all the right noises.
I think the only thing that I don't like about the clutch, how it is actually not so much starting, but shifting. When you let out in the other gears, it's hard to be smooth.
Yeah, it is.
We'll go left. It feels kind of like stock spool, right?
It does a
It doesn't feel like a big, like you've driven a big turbo 1J car?
Yeah.
They're like useless.
Like it starts spooling, but it just keeps spooling.
Yeah.
Take it right here. Gas.
See, it's weird because I feel like anyone driving this car, I'd be worried about them like bottoming out or something, but because you had the car lower, this is like child's play.
I mean, it smells a little different.
Yeah.
E85.
Yeah. It's on Ignite Red right now. I might go put some pump E85 in it to make it home.
It does go really straight though. Like when you get on it, it doesn't pull left, doesn't pull right.
It did pull really hard to the left when I broke an axle and back.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really it's like breaking the axle messed up my alignment or something.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
But I would like let off the gas and then it would go straight. Super weird.
You know.
So how long did you actually own this car for?
I think I owned it about a year.
Hey, so it didn't seem like you had it for that long.
Yeah, I honestly was probably working on the car more than I drove the car.
Are you like a serial car owner? Because it's kind of what it seems like. I have friends that like buy a car, like play with it for a year, swap it for something else.
Well, like when I bought this car, I planned on keeping it, and I really wish that I had, but I had to buy a house and grow up, so you know that was kind of the whole reason behind that.
No. But you said that, and then right after you bought, like, didn't you buy a coupe, like a right-hand drive coupe, and the R32 or something?
No, I already had the S13 when I sold this, and then the R32 I'd actually already bought, but I bought in Japan, and it took like 5 months to get it.
Got it.
So I bought that like a month before I sold.
Because I think you told me that, and then I saw like weeks after. I was like, man, he's got 2 new cars now.
No, this money went to a house, so you know, had to buy the house and grow up a little bit, and then kind of recoup a little bit and buy another car. So I'm starting to get back there. Had to buy side by side before I bought a car.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have a side by side too. Yeah, we should ride side by sides. Have you taken yours out of the compound?
I haven't taken it to the compound.
Dude, it's sick.
My buddy Joe just went to the compound, and he said I need to take it out.
Dude, they're like it's like more like rally trails there, like super narrow, like fast.
You gotta come out to Rancho where we ride. Yeah. That's how it's a lot of like really tight, narrow trails and fast. A lot of big trails. Yeah, you can go fast. All right. But it's like
woods, like you go through trees.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's a lot of trails like that.
Yeah, I like danger.
But it's all private property, so like we can go out there and like go sleep and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm down whenever.
But it's 1,300 acres.
Want to go tomorrow?
I work tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I got stuff to do tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Maybe next weekend.
Trying to turn off the windshield wipers instead. I'm turning on the turn signals.
You gotta admit though, for a clutch that handles as much power as it does, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It has a really good feel to it. It's just really grabby.
Yeah. It's almost like progressive. Like it's almost like kind of has a light grab and then a heavy bite versus like some are just like heavy bite.
What clutch is it?
It's a Clutch Masters, and I think one of the discs is sprung, but it's also a 10-inch, so instead of being like a really small clutch with a lot of pressure, it's just a bigger one with less pressure.
It does ride nice.
These cars, you can get away with like crazy high spring rates, and because of the like suspension design, you just don't even notice it.
If I had these springs, I'd probably have been even lower. A little better. Completely straight there.
Yeah. I mean, we're on Tampa roads.
It's a little wet in Tampa.
We're going half a mile on this. The cool thing about it, it's still just so zippy that like you don't have to drive it like a big turbo car.
No. If you don't put that smile on your face, you just give it a little throttle.
Oh yeah. My laughable intentions when I was building it was just to make sure it's fast enough to like not lose to a stock Mustang GT.
It's not gonna lose to a stock Mustang GT.
Because like think about how embarrassing that would be if like by UCF like some kid in a Mustang GT beats me in a race. I would cry.
I mean you could just tell him it's Camry though.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Do you approve?
It's amazing.
Cool. Well, this was just kind of like a short video, but I thought it'd be something cool to do on a Sunday. It's not often that we can meet up and have both these cars in the same place. Are you? Well, you drive yours a lot, so that's kind of a lie. This thing has never left the circle of my shop, so this is big.
I mean, that's also a Toyota. It's gonna break. That's a Honda, so you know.
I feel like a Toyota is more reliable than a Honda. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I feel like a Honda is more reliable.
All right, we'll check back in a couple months and we'll see whose car is more reliable. So, anyways, I appreciate you coming out. I got your Instagram name here if people want to check it out. But that's it for this video.